Hello, good morning. Welcome to Dark Histories Yesterday Today. It's Friday, the 8th of March. Finally Friday, and it's actually good morning for me. Normally I record these in advance, but this morning I'm actually literally recording it in my pyjamas. So, genuinely good morning for once. Today we're going back to the 8th of March 1866, and we're looking at the Banbury Advertiser. The first story we've got comes from a correspondent from France. The dangers of being buried alive. Monsieur de la Gournay presented a petition in the Senate on Tuesday from a person named de Cornol, pointing out the danger of hasty interments and suggesting the measures he thought requisite to avoid terrible consequences, says a Paris correspondent. Among other things, the petitioner demands that the space of 24 hours between the deceased and the interment, now prescribed by the law, should be lengthened to 48 hours, that an electrical apparatus should be kept in the sacristy of each church, and that the parish priests and their curates should be taught how to work it, that the body should, after the lapse of 48 hours, be submitted to the last and most powerful electric test, that the solid wooden lid of coffins should be done away with and replaced by a covering of canvas to be lifted up at the moment the remains are laid in the grave, in order to ascertain, beyond all possibility of doubt, that life is completely extinct, and that what appears to be death is not merely a lethargic sleep. So this whole story goes on, and apparently this was sent to a vote to be petitioned into law. And during the debate, a priest stood up and told a story about several people he had witnessed being almost buried alive in his life and how important this was. The third story he told was of a priest who everyone had assumed had passed away while speaking during a church service, and the story goes on. The body was measured for the coffin. Night came on, and you will easily feel how inexpressible was the anguish of the living being in such a situation. At last, amid the voices murmuring around him, he distinguished that of one whom he had known from infancy. That voice produced such a superhuman effort. Of what followed, I need say no more than that seemingly dead man stood next day in the same pulpit. That young priest, gentlemen, is the same young man who is now speaking before you, and who, more than 40 years after that event, implores those in authority not merely to watch vigilantly over the careful execution of the legal prescriptions with regard to interments, but to enact fresh ones in order to prevent the recurrence of irreparable misfortunes. So this priest's story during the debate apparently produced such a profound sensation that it single-handedly sent the petition to the Senate for a vote. But there's a couple things that I thought were quite funny about it. Firstly, he speaks quite highly of himself, doesn't he? And secondly, what would that court have been like at the end of something like The Others or Sixth Sense? You know, it would have been absolute pandemonium if that story caused a profound sensation. I guess they didn't really have plot twists in the 1800s. Next up, anyone chasing a literary agent, book deal or anything similar, here's a story for you which might be worth emulating. About a week ago, a man in a mask left at the door of one of the Paris theatres in Vanderville 4 acts entitled The Affair of the Wood of Vincennes, accompanied by a letter which ran as follows. Sir, if you open my piece, you will read it. If you read it, you will put it in rehearsal. If you put it in rehearsal, you will play it. And if you play it, you will have great success. If you don't play it, I will murder you. It's as simple as that, really, isn't it? A little bit of advice there for anyone trying to get noticed. Tell them how great your work is, and if they don't like it, you'll murder them. So that's pretty much that for this week. This weekend, we've got no episode. It will be next weekend for the main Dark Histories episode. However, we will be running a live stream, and that's going to be based around last week's main episode, which was Lord Lucan. So we'll be doing a live stream where we'll be discussing that. If you've never seen a live stream for Dark Histories before, it's really casual. Everyone's welcome. Come along, interact, either through YouTube chat or come on our Discord and actually come on the stream and have a chat. So it's nice and casual. Everyone's welcome. Come and go as you please. Be great to see you all there. Thanks very much for listening. Have a great weekend, whatever you do. That was yesterday. This is today. Have a good one.